Welcome to our Masechta Shabbos shiur. Baruch Hashem, we're going to have today another shiur detailing the amazing Amud that talks about coming home from shul. What do you do? Veichulu, the two angels, one on each side. What does it mean, the two angels, the good one, the bad one? And what do they do exactly in their house on Leil Shabbos? And we're going to talk about why Yerushalayim was destroyed, Omani Eshmer Rabbah. Lots and lots of interesting things. So just stay with us. We are now in Daf Kuf Yud Tes Amud Aleph, Kufi Tes Amud Aleph, in towards the bottom of the page. Omar lereish galus elovim nuna. This shiur is leilu nishmas of Imoyri Menachem Ben Akiva, Ruth Bas Shalom Sol Bas Moshe Aviv Bas Moshe, lerefuas Rochel Bas Shoshana. Omar lereish galus elovim nuna. Reish Galusa told Rav Imnuna, or to be more precise, he asked him a question, Reish Galusa. My dichtiv, what does it mean when it says, L'Kadosh Hashem Mechubad? Yeah, it says L'Kadosh Hashem Mechubad, and these words L'Kadosh Hashem Mechubad seem to be redundant, because it says beforehand, V'koras al Shabbos Oinig, I'm looking at the pasuk now, yeah, Im Toshim Shabbos Raglecho. Later it says, "V'koras l'Shabbos oineg l'kadosh Hashem mechubad." So you mechabed, you honor the Shabbos, which is called kadosh Hashem, and then it says, "V'chibadeto masas dorchecho." So why twice kibadeto? Right? You make it mechubad ve'kibadeto. What's his double loshoin? Mechubad ve'kibadeto. Why twice? Yeah. What is it coming to tell me? So he told him. So Ze Yom Kippurim, Omar he told him, Ze Yom Kippurim. The words Kadosh Hashem Mechubad does not relate to Shabbos. It relates to Yom Kippurim she'en b'lo yachila v'lo yishtia. Right? V'karas al Shabbos oineg, that is oineg Shabbos. Yom Kippur is also called Shabbos, Shabbos Shabbosoin, but there you don't have oineg Shabbos. So there you have Kadosh Hashem Mechubad, no chila, no shtia. So how do you mechabed it? How do you show kavod Yom Kippur? Amar Torah, kabdeu b'ksus nekia. You have to be mechabed Yom Kippur with clean clothes. In other words, you have to look, kittel, ksus nekia. You have the special clothes of Yom Kippur with clean clothes. Literally means clean clothes. And that ksus nekia is what you wear in Yom Kippur. Could be mean something more Kabbalistic, maybe ksus or mitzvahs, maybe noki. You have to have clean mitzvahs when you come to Yom Kippur, maybe. So, and by the way, it's interesting because we know that Kadosh Hashem, Yom Kippur is called Yom HaKodesh. Yom HaKodesh is Yom Kippur. So that's Kadosh Hashem. Before it didn't say that. Kadosh Hashem, Mechubad. Yom Kippur, which is called Kadosh Hashem, is Mechubad with nice clothes. Now, V'chibadetoi, right? What does it mean, V'chibadetoi? Now comes again another question. If you say Kadosh Hashem Mechubad, nice. Now he's saying v'kibadetoi regarding Shabbos. Yeah, how are you mechabed Shabbos? Which means how do you show that your meal is especially eaten for Shabbos? Right. In other words, it's not enough to have nice food, although we're going to discuss that later. Also, there is something else you can do to show that you mechabed Shabbos and your food is not stam a nice meal; it's in honor of Shabbos. Rav Omar lehakdim. Which means Rav says you have to bring the meal time earlier. You should eat earlier than your meal during the week. If during the week you eat 10 o'clock in the morning, now you should eat 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Let's say. Why? So Lahakdi makes sense. I want to show that I want to eat quick. I want to bring it on as early as possible to show how much I love the Shabbos food. Shmuel says, "Le'acher." Look at Rashi. Zeu kvoidoi shu misav elechoil. If you eat a bit later, then you show, I'm going to have my stomach churning, and I'm going to be so hungry. So the meal will taste that much better, and I do dafka in honor of Shabbos. Although you have to remember, whichever way you choose, that you're not allowed to pass chatzos without food on Shabbos. Yeah, at least taste something before chatzos. Amule bnei Rav Pope bar Abba le Rav Pope. Yeah, the children of Rav Pope bar Abba asked Rav Pope. Looks like the children asking the father, Pashtus, and they asked him, "Kegoinanan, we, us, the shchiach lan bisra v'chamra kol yoima. Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of meat and wine every day. We have nice fancy meal every day. But Rav Papa was a rich man, yeah, he was a merchant. So his children were rich. That's why Rav Papa always did siyumim for his children. And the siyum, we mentioned the 10 children of Rav Papa, he had the money to provide them with fancy siyumim. So we are Baruch Hashem, well-to-do Torah family, and we have meat and wine every day. B'may nishanye. How will we make it different to the rest of the week to show that it's for Shabbos? Right? In other words, we have nice food every day. So the Shabbos menu is not that different to the rest of the week. I would say add more food, maybe. It's not what he said. It's not what he said. Omalu, he told them, if you used to eat early during the week, then achua. Then on Shabbos, eat the meal later. Then postpone the time of the meal a little bit. If during the week you eat later than other people, you have a late, let's say breakfast, late lunch, bring it earlier. Just change the time either earlier or later to show this is not my regular meal time. I'm not stop having my lunch because I'm having lunch. I'm bringing it earlier or later to show that the timing is in honor of Shabbos. Either or. In other words, like basically Paskins, I think between Rav and Shmuel, right? Kind of a pshara. Either bring it early or late, depends on what your norm is. Which is interesting because Daf Yuda Mud Aleph, many moons ago, we learned in Daf Yuda Mud Aleph, it says that there are 5 or 6 different groups of people who have breakfast different times. The cannibals, the poilim, the yorshim, the Talmidei Chachomim, the regular guys. Different people have breakfast different times of the morning, the first half of the day. So maybe it's referring to that. Whenever your breakfast is, change your time. Rav Sheshes, this is more about the importance of the Shabbos meal. Rav Sheshes, unfortunately, was a blind person, should know. So he didn't know how he was giving shiur. Yeah, Rav Sheshes used to give shiur, not knowing, no, not making eye contact with the Talmidim. He didn't know what's going on with the Talmidim as he was giving shiur. Now, he would give shiur on Shabbos, right? And he didn't want the shiur to go for too long. In other words, Rav Sheshes wanted them on their own to stop listening to the shiur and go to eat the meal. He wanted to make sure that they're not staying for too long and they go to the meal. So what would he do? Bekaita, in the summer, Moisev Rabbanon, he would make sure that they sit Hecha Demat Yashimsha, when the sun hits them, when the sun gets. You would have to put them in a hot place so they don't feel too comfortable. In other words, you would put them in a place where when mealtime comes, then the sun is going to hit their heads. So when it's mealtime, when the Shabbos to the Shabbos, they themselves will rush to go. Interesting. The Sitva in the winter, in the winter, he would place them, he would seat them in the place where the shade is going to come, so they'll be colder in the time of the meal. So they should get up haya. Haya means quick, as we said before. In other words, I don't know why he himself didn't finish the drasha quickly. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe he wanted it to come from themselves, grassrooting. The day me'atzmam should have the desire to eat. You get what I'm saying? He would give shiur, non-stop. He would make sure that they sat in the place that wouldn't be too comfortable, so that when the mealtime comes, they'll be itching and edging to go.
Maybe up to them, they'd want to learn more and more. You have to do something to make them.
Very good, Reb David again with tremendous chidushim. Very good. They would love to learn. They would never ever, and they would ask him, "Give us more." They would want to learn more and more, as we're going to see in the following story. Soon we're going to see like you. And therefore, what did he do? He kind of engineered it. They themselves would be physically bothered by the elements, making sure they're going to have lunch. Very good. Baruch Hashem. Rabbi Zeira, that following story illustrates what we just said. Rabbi Zeira mehader azuzi zuzi darabonon. Rabbi Zeira would go around and look for zuzi darabonon. What zuzi? Zugi. Chavrusas. There were many chavrusas talking and learning v'dabrin b'toiro on Shabbos. He would go after them and he would encourage them. Omer lehu, he would tell them, "B'metusa minaychu, please, lo techalelune." Wow, don't be mechal Shabbos. Mechal Shabbos. In other words, as Rashi is asku be'oinig Shabbos v'lo techelenu levatel ta'anugim. Don't be mechal on Shabbos by learning too much and not going to have a good Gishmak Shabbos meal. Unbelievable. Why is that? Because it says in Halacha that for the Balabatim, they don't get to learn as much as they'd like to. On Shabbos, they have to learn more. Talmidei Chachamim who learn as much as they can during the week and have an oineg on Shabbos that learn a bit less, and they're misaneg with a meal more, sleeping, eating. Omar Rove, Vitem Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, afilu yochid the mispal be'erev Shabbos, even a single person who davens alone on erev Shabbos. Alone means either that there's no minyan and there's no two people to say vayechulu. Let me first finish the sentence. Afilu yochid mispal be'erev Shabbos, even one person who davens alone on erev Shabbos, tzarich loimer vayechulu. He has to say the pasuk vayechulu shemaim v'oretz. Yeah, meaning that even if you're not making kiddush, I mean you will eventually. You're not making kiddush. You're only davening, even davening alone. You have to say to say the pasuk v'chol shemaim v'oretz. It's not only a din to say it with two people. It's not a din in a minyan or kiddush. There's also kiddush, but just davening alone, stam part of davening, regardless of everything else, there's the chiv to say v'chulu. Why? I mean, we all know that it's better to say it with two people. That's what some people say. Not everyone agrees to that. Some people say v'chulu is edus, two people together. But even if you daven alone, you say v'chulu. Why? Damar v'imnuna. Whoever davens erev Shabbos and says v'chulu, malal of kosuv, it's considered as if the Torah considers him to be kilu nasa shutaf lakadosh baruch hu b'ma'aseh bereshis. It's as if he becomes partner with Hashem in creating the world. In ma'aseh bereshis, sheneemar, it says v'yechulu. Al tikru v'yechulu ela v'yechalu. It's not v'yechulu shamayim ela v'yechalu. Yechalu means they will finish. Vayechal means he finished. Vayechalu means they, both of them finished. Who's both of them? HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the one who says Vayechulu. Together, they're creating the world in the same fashion of Ma'aseh Bereshis. And I'm going to tell you something now that blew my mind from the Anaf Yosef, one of the Meforshim in Yaakov. And let's just continue one more line, and then you're going to hear the Chiddush of your life, I think. I mean, for me, it was big Chiddush. Amar Belozo, says Belozo, Minayin shadibu kemaise. How do you know that talking is like doing? Yeah, utterance of words is tantamount to an action. Shenemar bidvar Shem Shemaim nasu. Baruch Piv called Tzvom, right? Yeah, bidvar Shem Shemaim nasu. With the words of Hashem, the heaven was created. Says which makes sense now. When you say Vayechulu, you talk, but your talk is equivalent to Hashem's doing the creating the world. Now listen to this. Why is it so? Why is it why does that make me like partner with Hashem? So Maharsha says because of course we know I'm based on Maharsha. He says because the tachlis of the world, Shabbos, Ruchnias. When you say V'chul Shamayim, you recognize today's Shabbos, right? You now know here came the climax of the week. You mishtartif with Hashem. Hashem's idea to create the world is for the tachlis of Shabbos. We spoke about it before. The kala, tachlis, it's all the same. The end game, the goal, the final climax, and you're mishtatif with that. Says the Anaf Yosef something unbelievable. Says Anaf Yosef, we're talking here physical. Let's get physical. He says like this: physically, the world only has battery. I'm using modern terms that lasts 6 days. How long does your phone last? I don't know. By me, not much. Yeah. In other words, the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world in giving it power for 6 days only. Every Shabbos, the world, I repeat, physically recharges by Shmiras Shabbos, and that gives him koach for the other 6 days. When we say recharge on Shabbos, it's true. In other words, on Shabbos, the world actually gets the physical and spiritual power to continue. You connect it, connect your charger to the wall. Now it gets 6 more days, and therefore, when you say Vayechulu, you declare, "I'm going to keep Shabbos." Shabbos is starting. I'm about to start keeping Shabbos. If you don't keep Shabbos, the world will collapse, just like by Torah. And therefore, every Shabbos we are mishtatef with Hashem, because Hashem Kilo gave us that machine called the world that only has charge for 6 days. You have to recharge the world every seventh day, and therefore He says everybody. Oh, not everybody. There was always someone in the world who kept Shabbos. He says Odom Rishon kept Shabbos. There's always somebody, Shem, Aver, the Ovos HaKadoshim, they always kept Shabbos. Even Shevet Levi in Mitzrayim kept Shabbos, could be others as well, to a certain extent. That's another Shaila. But there was always somebody who kept Shabbos. The details, the tzivui was b'moro. But the concept of Shmirot Shabbos, whatever that means, was always there, because without keeping Shabbos, the world just won't exist. And that's why a person who breaks Shabbos is really destroying the world. The person who breaks Shabbos is destroying the world. So it's destructive not to keep Shabbos. Destructive for the environment. Unbelievable. Amar Rav Chizda, Amar Mar Ukva. Kol mispal be'erev Shabbos, v'omer v'yechulu. Yeah. So the person says v'yechulu on Erev Shabbos as he should. Shnei malocha hashores hamelavin lo odom. There are two malocha hashores who always accompany a person everywhere. By the way, it's not only on Shabbos. These Shnei Malachim are always with us. There's always two Malachim on each side of each person, because it says, they used to say, it says in Shulchan Aruch, they used to say in the olden days, before you go to toilet, you say, Skabdu mechubadim. Like, excuse me, guys, I'm going somewhere where you cannot go in. I guess Malachim, it's below them to go to the bathroom. So if you guys don't mind staying outside, thank you. Yeah, I gotta do something. But today we don't say it. We're not in the Darga. But conceptually, there are two Malachim going everywhere. We're going to discuss it later, what they are. But those two malachim, menichim yaden al roishoy, if he davens and says veichulu, they put their hands on his head. V'amrim loy, they tell him, v'sar avoincha v'chatoscha techupa. Your avoin, your sin will be removed. Shabbos, what is Shabbos? A new start. When you say veichulu, you recognize that Hashem is melech olam. What did we say that means? Even if a dezorah, Hashem forgives you. Right, Shabbos is a new start. They say Friday. Rav Tatz brings down the idea. Rav Tatz says that I'm sure B'Shem earlier sources, remember who, that on Shabbos, on Erev Shabbos, you get ready so much, you cut your nails and your hair, and you go to mikveh. You're like a dead person, like they do for a dead person, because you die and you're reborn on Shabbos. Shabbos is all new birth. You're recharging, really recharging. So here too, all your avonos are done. Whatever happened, you also do tshuva. On Friday, you're supposed to do tshuva before the kiddush. You do tshuva before you die. It's end of a process, and here we're starting to charge a whole new story, a whole new level, a whole new stratum. Tanya, oh, that's a famous one. There are two malachim, specific malachim of Shabbos, and they accompany you from shul all the way to your house. Echad toy ve'echad ra. One's a good malach, one is a bad malach. Yeah, and the Meforshim say that these are actually the Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Ra. Ukshabala beisoy. Now he comes home. Umotza ner doluk. He finds the ner doluk. The Shabbos candles are, brightening up the room. The Shulchan Aruch. It says Shulchan Aruch. Umitosoy mutzas. He has the bed made. Then what happens then? Malach toiv oimer yirotzoin shetel Shabbos techeres kach. The good malach says, Halavai yirotzoin, may it be your will that next Shabbos should be the same. Shetel Shabbos techeres kach. Malach ra oina omen bal kocho. The bed angel says, Omen bal kocho. He has no choice. He's like, we twist his arms and say, Omen. Yeah, what can you do? V'im if not, if you don't see the table set, you see the house messy, the table, and the chair and the beds and the lights are not there. The bad angel says that's what should be next Shabbos. The good angel says, Omen, unfortunately, has to agree. What's going on over here? Oh, it's one of these midrashim that I heard, I think, first time when I was 5 or so. But now, finally, I'm already a little bit older than 5. So now I chapped what's going on here with the help of the Meforshim. It's really the Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara, which is really a more superficial way to say the seichel. What when we're magbir the seichel over our taivus, over the lusts, that's the Yetzer Tov. Yetzer Hara tells you, do what you want. Yetzer Hara says, have more fun, hedonistic, just use the world for itself. Just, have more and more fun, more food, more taivus, more pritzes, v'chula v'chula, nothing to do with today's Western world. I'm just imagining connections here. But basically, what's going on here? What's Shabbos? Shabbos is the connection point between what? Shabbos is such a spiritual day. And on the other hand, it's Hogashmi. On Shabbos, believe me, personally, in Shabbos, I eat much more with much more variety than any other day of the week. How come? If Shabbos is so spiritual, why do we eat just very little? That's the idea. Shabbos is a day that elevates all the low things. And Shabbos, you take the most gashmi things, the kishke and the cholent and the heavy food, right? And the potatoes that are low. And what do you do with them? You elevate them to the highest level. That's Shabbos. So now the Malachim are confused. What's going on over here? So the Malach Tov sees that you have your your table ready, your bed made, which can also be mitzvahs oina, but it's all Hashem Shemaim. It's all elevating the low, making it higher. I'm taking this world olam hazeh, bringing it to a higher level. He says, great. So it will be for next Shabbos. Just like the Gaon Mivilna says, whatever you do once and twice is much easier to do more and more, for good or for bad. It's called addiction in modern language. And the Malach Ra says, okay. And if Malach Ra sees that the table is messy and there's no candles and no nothing, there is food, but there's no food to cover Shabbos. You're eating your Shabbos meal, so to speak, but it's not oruch. There's no candle. There's no set up for Shabbos. Stam, you're chapping your falafel and galinim, right? You call it a Shabbos meal. It's not a Shabbos meal. It's your boich meal. And if all you do is bring the low to even lower dargas to just eat for the sake of eating hedonistically, then the Malach Ra says that's what's going to happen again. If you don't really change, then that mahalach, says the mahalach will continue more and more, will snowball. And the good one, of course, you can change either way, but Lamaisa, that's pshat. It's a war between Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. Now listen to an unbelievable chiddush. Wait. Here comes, today's full of gems, I told you. Here comes a crazy chiddush of the Abu Darham, in Gibraltar. So Abu Darham says like this: the Malach of Friday is the good one, actually. Friday is controlled, the end of Friday is controlled by Tzedek, is under the star of Tzedek. Tzedek is a good Malach, yet Tzedkiel. And then comes the Malach of Shabbos, and surprise, we said before, the Koichov of Shabbos is not a good one. On Shabbos with Afka, we improve it. We control it. The Malach of Shabbos, he says, not Shabtai, not at the beginning. The beginning of Shabbos, the Malach is Ma'adim, bad one. Ma'adim is Mars, is red, is killing. So that's why two Malachim come after the beginning of Shabbos. It's a meeting point. The moment of the end of Friday is a good Malach. The beginning of Shabbos is actually a bad Malach, which we have to control. And the meeting point between the good Malach and the bad Malach, between Jupiter and Mars, that these are the two Malachim. The meeting point between Jupiter and Mars is when Shabbos comes in, out Shabbos, out Friday, in Shabbos, and we have to take the low and make it control, make it in charge. And these are the two Malachim that accompany you from Shul. Now you have a nice birthday for the next little Shabbos. Oh, tell your wife we're in Mars and Jupiter. Yeah, she'll think you're crazy. Okay, weiter. So now, hi, my neighbor has a beautiful word. Very nice, beautiful, Akiva. You did it. Yeah. Why is the table good? Well, why is Shabbos nice? Well, why is the atmosphere nice and pleasant? Because on Friday they worked. They didn't set the table now. Definitely didn't. They didn't light the candles now, right? Some people light candles on Shabbos. Just kidding. You light candles before Shabbos. Very good. So on Friday, you use the good. When it was the good ashpa, you used it to overcome the upcoming bad malach of Shabbos. You one-upped it. Very nice. We should have a contrast of all the chidushim of the people here. Very, very nice. Baruch Hashem. Yeah, Omar Blozo. Oh, and that's exactly what we're saying now, Rebbe Kiva. Omar Blozo. Lo'ilam, second wide line. Lo'ilam isad odom shulchon be'erev Shabbos. A person should always set the table erev Shabbos, meaning it's not enough to come home to an unset table and then set the table. You get what I'm saying? The mitzvah to set the table on erev Shabbos. Afal pi shenu tzorich el kazais. Let's say that person is only going to eat a kazais bread. Wow. Says the Maharsha, let's say the person ate a lot on Friday. He had the Sudas Mitzvah, questionable. Let's say he had the bris. He can't do bris the other day. And he ate kedeboy. And now he's stuffed, he's full. I'm not saying if it's good or bad, but that's the reality. I'm going to have a kazais because I'm chuyev. For one kazais, I'm going to set the whole table. Yes, set a nice plate and a nice cup and a napkin and a serviette. In other words, what you have to do is setting the table in honor of Shabbos is choshev. Why? Because Shabbos is like a malka. When a melech comes, you accompany him in, you bring him in, you welcome him in. You welcome him in by already having the table set before. So as the Malach is coming, the Malka is coming, the table is set for them as they come in. And now that's very, very nice because the flip side of that, the other side of that is Melave Malka. Rabbi Chanina, the olam yisader odom shulchan b'motzei Shabbos exactly the same way. Afal pishnotzach elol kazayis puncto, which means, as I told you before, Melava Malka is not so much about eating the Melava Malka. It's better, but it is choshev to eat. But the main thing is mesader shulchan motzei Shabbos. As the queen is leaving, you accompany her out. You don't say goodbye, Havdalah. Where's my computer? You accompany her out by setting a table in her honor as a Sudas Preda, even though you're only going to eat it because I pass. Lamai said the Rishonim, and the Mishnah says it's better to eat meat, as we're going to see later, even here. It's better to have a fleshig Melava Malka. Good luck in the summer. I don't know yet. Lamai said it is nice. Yeah, you should have nice food, Motzei Shabbos. I'm not saying no. But the main point is to set a table. As I told you, I'm pretty sure, and I learned the Mishnah Berurah, that let's say when I have stam, I don't think it's a nice meal. Like some people eat in bed. Stam, he goes to bed on the couch, he's reading a book, and on the couch, he's eating a falafel, with a pita. So it's a moitzi. That's Melava Malka. It's not Melava Malka. He didn't set a table. Eating on the couch from the paper. That's not Melava Malka. You most probably not Yotze. Lidaiti. I'm not a Paisik. Because you see, Yisader Shulchanoi, that's the idea. The covet of showing the queen, we are showing you out with a nice set table, which is equivalent to the table that we set at the entrance of Shabbos. Way in, way out. Table in, table out. That's the idea. Now, continues the Gemara. Chamin b'motzei Shabbos melugma. To have a hot water on Motzei Shabbos in melugma is refuah, is healthy. It's something which is like a remedy. Pas chama b'motzei Shabbos melugma. Pas chama, hot bread on Motzei Shabbos also is a remedy and a medication. It's something that is curing. Why? Says I'll show two reasons. First of all, you have to show that you made something special for Motzei Shabbos. If it's hot, pas chama means that you made it especially fresh for Motzei Shabbos, or you heat the water especially for Motzei Shabbos. Now he says even more. Why is it dafka? Why is it hot? Because it could be fresh, like we said. Also on Shabbos back then, people Shabbos day, as much as they tried, it was very hard to have hot food. Before electricity, you read it in Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah, all the time. In Yilchas Bishul, Reish Nun Gimel, Reish Nun Zayin, you see that back then they didn't have. It was very hard to maintain the heat of the tanur all the way from Friday to Shabbos morning. They had ways. They would go to the bakery. They get the goiter to do it. The Ramah has all kinds of tricks. But Lamais, it wasn't simple. Most of the food would be cold on Shabbos. So Dafka Motzei Shabbos, now you have to balance it by eating something hot. That's melugma, that's healthy. You ate cold food the whole Shabbos, at least now you should eat something healthy. Rabbi Abo, more about did I say Shal Shudas? I meant Melav Malka, sorry. Melav Malka, of course, I'm talking about all the time, not Shal Shudas. Melav Malka. Rabbi Abo from Kisari. Rabbi Abo have Avdin leBabu Kishabsa. Rabbi Abo, they would make for him on Motzei Shabbos Igla tilta. Wow, they make for him special delicacy, the very refined, good igla tilta. You know what's igla tilta? It's the calf, the baby cow that was born third. Yeah, which means it's the best one. Very fine veal. Very fine veal. And all he ate from this whole veal was just the kidney. That was one thing he would eat, and that's it. He didn't want to eat anymore. Kigoda Avimi Bray, once Avimi, his son, got older, when his son grew up and had his own opinion, Omerle, he told his father, why are you causing so much loss? You're losing so much meat. You're wasting so much meat. Why? Hey, daddy, all you eat is just what? Kulyosa. You eat one kidney. So why do you need to shecht the whole animal and cook the whole animal just for the one kidney? Let's leave on Friday from the Shabbos food, from Ma'ale Shabsa, from Friday, we should leave behind one kilya, one kidney, and eat that on Motzei Shabbos. So you know what happened? Shavkuhu. They listened to his son's advice, and they left just one. They didn't make special food for Motzei Shabbos. That was a mistake. They did not make special food from Lava Malka. They just left the kilya, they left the kidney, right, from Friday into Motzei Shabbos. The also Aryeh Achle came a lion and ate it. He ate the entire animal, right? Which means don't use Shabbos leftovers. You should have something specially new from Lava the Malka, preferably. Not a shiur, but that's definitely a better thing to show kavod for the queen as she goes out. Amar B'Shoban Levi says B'Shoban Levi, Kol oine omen yesh merabo mevorach b'chol koichoy. Whoever answers Omen Yesh Merabah Mevorach with all his might. Now, Kol Koicho, I'm saying all his might. Lamaisa, it means either Kavonosoi, that's what Toysa says, and Rashi says B'chol Koicho. I'm going the wrong way around. First of all, Rashi says B'chol Kavonosoi, right? And the Ri says that Kol Ram. Rashi says it means with all your Kavono, Omen Yesh Merabah, right? Okay, and Tosa says loudly, physically, b'chol koichoy, and Halacha says both. You look in Shulchan Aruch, both. You have to say it loudly, but however, it says not to say it too loudly, not to say like a meshuganer, not to make fun of yourself and scream. I mean, Yishmerabah, the whole shul is looking at you. Say it as loud as possible within the social norm, and also have a lot of kavanah. Amen. Yishmerabah v'och lo'olam lo'olam mayo. It says the Nefesh HaChaim says it relates to the Daled Olamos. Atzilus Bria Yetzira Asiya. Yeah, Le'olam Ulmei Ulmayo. 4 times over. Hashem is in control of four worlds. Atzilus Bria Yetzira Asiya, all the way from above, middle, and then down. Hashem is in control through everything, and that's Manish Merabah. So now, I don't know what the Gemara is written over here. To be honest with you, I don't know what's the connection. I have to admit that I'm sure people say it, and I don't know what the connection is. I didn't look it up, but that's it. So a person who says "Omenish Merabah" with all his might, so even if he has a bad din, even if a Kishboch already Lolenu decided that he'll have a bad decreed something bad upon him, that Omenish Merabah breaks away and tears away the Gzardin. Yeah, in other words, the power to connect to Hashem and know that He's the only one in charge, that already goes l'malam min teva, l'malam min gzardin, all the way to the olam atzilus and break all the bad dinim. Sheneemar, how do you know? This is from the song of Dvoiro. Yeah, Dvoiro ha-Neviah, she had a song, and she sang, Bifroya pois b'Yisrael. Bisnadev am bochu Hashem. Proya pois doesn't mean when there's bad troubles. On the contrary, Bifroya means when it's annulled. Bifroya pois, yeah? In other words, when did Hashem annul the bad decrees, the adversity, the pois? Bisnadev am bochu Hashem. The Gemara will explain, my time of Bifroya pois. Why is it that the bad decrees are cancelled? Proya means to cancel. As it says, Rashi brings down, as we'll see soon, Parua means in Maisa Egel, Parua means cancelled, annulled. Why is it that the bad decrees are annulled? Mishum de Baruch Hashem. When we're Baruch Hashem, when we give Hashem the proper bracha, then Enochinami, that cancels the bad decrees. Even if the person who says Omen Shmerabo has some kind of tendency, leniency towards Avodah Zarah, maybe some questions in Emunah, he believes more in Avodah Zarah, he gets Mechila. It says before a pois, the pasuk in which we just mentioned that is alluding to Yesh Merabah, that pasuk says por a pois. Uksiv hosam in the Maisa Egel, the epitome of Avodah Zarah, it says Ki Paruahu. Yeah, you see Parua. It says over there about Klal Yisrael Parua, they were cancelled. Parua. Am Yisrael was Parua. Am Yisrael was kilu vulnerable to attacks. Yeah, like they're out of it. But Kitzur, the Gzer Shova Parua tells you if you say Amen Shmerabo as by the recommendation of the Dvar Neviah, then it's connected to the Zorah Paruahu. Yeah, that even if you have the Zorah in your heart a little bit, Amen Shmerabo will cancel it out. Yeah, they will rule over, and you're going to have emunah and not avodah zarah. Amar Reish Lakish, kol ha'oine omen b'chol koichoi. A person who answers omen b'chol koichoi, again, could be kavana, right? Or with his might. Poischin l'shar Gan Eden. Then Hashem will open for him the gates of Gan Eden. Shenema pischu shorim, v'yov goy tzaddik shomer munim. Open the gates, and a goy tzaddik doesn't mean goy, yeah. A righteous nation should come. People, the Yiddish people, or the righteous nation, they would come through the main door. Shomer emunim. What's shomer emunim? Al tikri shomer emunim. Shomer emunim means that he's faithful. What does it mean? Ela she'oimrim omein. Shomer emunim is, alluding to another word, oimrim omein. Those who say Amen will go through to Gan Eden through the main door. In other words, there are different levels in Gan Eden, right? There's Gan Eden, there's Gan Eden. Let's say you're invited to someone's house to a party, and the guy tells you, you can come to my house to the party, making Hanukkah party, but you're not such a stylish guy. You're not, you're not nice enough for my snobbish chevra. You come through the kitchen if you don't mind. That's be insulted. At the end of the day, it's a nice party, sufganios, jokes, whatever, svivonim. But at the end of the day, if you don't go through the main door, it's not so mechubed, right? But if you mechabed Hashem and you say Amen in this world, in Olam Haba, you'll come to Gan Eden through the main door. You'll come, you'll get covered, not just Gan Eden itself, the entrance to Gan Eden. I'm not sure I know what that means, obviously, but yeah, some kind of higher level of lechatchila level of going to Gan Eden is if you say Amen. Amen is tremendously important. There's a lot of stuff written here. One more line and then we finish. My Amen. What does the word Amen actually mean? We know that Amen means believe. My mean it's emuna. But now we're saying something else. Amar b'chanina kel melech ne'eman. And now we're going to finish. Listen to this. What does kel melech ne'eman mean? I saw this very, very nice idea once. I don't remember b'shem hu. I'm sorry, I'm very bad in these things. Kel melech ne'eman talks about past, present, and future. Kel melech ne'eman, which means when Hashem created the world, He wasn't yet a melech, right? Azai melech shmoy nikra is one of Adam Arishon. Before Adam Arishon, right? It says Medrash somewhere, yeah, the one who called Hashem melech, right? A person is mamlich Hashem. The animals, with all due respect, the sun and the moon, are not smart enough, so to speak, to coronate Hashem. All the Rosh Hashanah, we're mamlich Hashem. Yeah? So Kel is the one that has the power. Hashem had the power right at the beginning, even before human beings were around. Melech is the second stage when we have human beings around. Then we are mamlich Hashem. He's melech over us. Ein melech beloy am. Once there's am, there's human beings. Then Hashem is melech. That's a present, very long present. What about the future? The world today, not exactly perfect. Ne'eman is faithful. We believe him. What's Ne'eman? Believed, faithful, trustworthy. Yeah, we trust Hashem about the future. Ne'eman, they will reveal His malchus even more. So that's Kel, past, Melech, present, Ne'eman for the future. That's Kel Melech Ne'eman. Next time, soon, we're going to say Mariv now. Kel Melech Ne'eman. Yeah, if you say Kel Melech Ne'eman, if you said Bichidus, yeah, so that's what it means. Past, future, present. Present, future. Thank you very much. Thank you to Ma'am Loez, such a beautiful shul, and we have the chus to give the shir Ma'am Loez. Thank you to everybody who came here. Thank you to Torah Anytime and to those who watch us on YouTube. Thank you so much. And our presence in Torah Anytime is growing. Baruch Hashem. Thank you very much. Atzlocho v'rocha. And may we receive Shabbos b'simcha u'benaches.